Oh, all righty then. All right, everybody ready to go? Awesome, thanks. All right. So I just want to kind of make a little frame of reference here as we're going. This is not designed to be teaching you guys how to do Oryoki per se. It's kind of designed to give you a feel of what Oryoki is like. But it's going to kind of feel like trying to get a drink from a fire hose. It's going to be really, really fast. So don't get too caught up on whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing or how this works. There'll be more training about this later. But so for right now, just kind of go along, go with the flow. If you make a mistake, just do it enthusiastically and let it be. So don't worry about it. Just kind of go with Oryoki. The other thing I just want to mention real quick is that I have a really bad shoulder problem, and I don't know if it's going to manifest today or not while I'm working. The best way to describe it is that as long as I keep my hands like I have a little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, I'm okay. If I extend out too much, then I get really bad pain. So if all of a sudden I start doing gashos with one hand, it's not because it's a new style or a new way of doing things. It's just because my shoulder has gone out on me. So I just wanted to lay those little pieces out there. All right. So. Also, I guess one last little thing. I've cut out one of the chanting. We'll have lots of chanting today, and usually we don't have quite enough time to get done, so I needed to kind of trim a little bit. So I just pulled out one little chanting right at the beginning. Otherwise, we'll do the rest. I'll try to let people know when they are also supposed to chant along or when it's just up to me. All right. Um, so I'll get started. Okay, so we start out by an Aishgasho. We pick up our Oryoki bowls from the left. If they're not on your left, that's quite okay. Bowls up to our forehead, and we're going to set them down table, and we're going to Gasho. Then first chanting. Oops, sorry. I just need to do one little thing here. There we go. Buddha was born in Kapilavastu, enlightened in Magadha, taught in Varanasi, entered nirvana at Kushinagara. Now we set out Buddha's bowls. May we, with all living beings, realize the emptiness of self-clinging and of the three wheels, giver, receiver, and gift. I'm going to pick up a bowl. We're always going to pick up with just our three fingers. We're going to pick the bowl up, kind of lower our head down the bowl, and set the bowls back down. Now, um, if you've learned the Oryoki knot, there should be a little ear that's right here on the right that we're going to use and pull out. If you don't know the Oryoki knot, we're going to learn it at the end, so we're all good. But basically, you're going to pull that ear out, and you're going to lay your wrapping cloth out from those two sides. Everybody follow along. Next, we're going to take our drying cloth. We're going to grab it in the center, lift it up so it's folded in half. And then we're going to fold it into thirds. One, two, three. That leaves us our corners down here on the bottom. And we're going to lay that down on top of our utensil case on the setsu. So the corners are down here. We're going to pick up the utensil case with our left hand at top, right hand at the bottom. We're going to rotate it counterclockwise and set it down. If you're at if you have a zabuton, it goes right in front of the zabuton. I'm going to leave mine up here so you guys can see it. But for actually right now, I'm just going to lay mine to the side as we do the rest of this laying out of the bowls. Next step, we're going to take our lap cloth. There should be two corners up here at the top. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to unfold the lap cloth. It's going to open up and we lay it down so that our hands stay at the top most part of our lap. And we're going to lay it down like that so it's on our lap. Then we're going to take our wrapping cloth, take the top, it gets laid forward, The bottom point gets laid down towards us. And then we're going to make our little pointy corners. If your top goes over an end like this, that's okay. If not, we just kind of bring it up and make a little point at the top. We do the same thing at the bottom, make a little point. We go to the left, make a little point, and we go to the right and make a little point. So we have all our little points and we have kind of a placemat-y kind of thing right here in front of us. Right? If you have a hatan, you'll pick that up and you kind of pop it open, lift up the bowls, put the hatan down. If you don't, just lift up your bowls and put them in the upper left-hand corner. All right, we're going to take our small bowl. We're going to use our thumbs to pick it up. We're going to bring it over and we're going to lay it down on the right-hand side. If you have little bowls, you know what to do with them. Middle bowl, we're going to pick up with our thumbs, same as before. And we're going to rotate it so that our right thumb is in front and sort of slide it in. And we do it that way. So if you need to move your Buddha bowl, you can to make enough room to get the middle bowl in. So our bowls are all laid out. Okay. I'm going to bring this back up now. We're going to reach with our right hand and pick up our drying, and just move our drying cloth, and we're going to get out our utensil case, put the drying cloth back down. We're going to take our utensil case. We're going to open it away from us. We put it on our chest right about here, and we slowly work the utensils out so that they're all up. Then we take our cloth and fold it up into thirds, and we're ready to go. We take out the chopsticks, thumb on top. We take the chopsticks and lay them down so that the handles are to the left and the points are at the center. We take the spoon, we pull it out, same thing, thumb on top. We put it down. The bowl goes to the center, the handle is to the left, the bowl goes up, we call that open. Slightly different with the setsu, 2 fingers on top, rotate it over and kind of guide it between the middle bowl and the small bowl with your first finger. If you don't like the triangle fold of your utensil case, just kind of get it in a nice little Z shape. We pick up the drying cloth with the right hand, put the utensil case down with our left so that the opening is pointing to the right. And we set it back down. And that's basically laying out the bowls, and that's pretty much it. Right now, we would do the 10 names of the Buddha. That's the piece I'm going to skip today. So we're going to go right into the food offering verse. This is me only. This food of many benefits comes from the efforts of all sentient beings, past and present, and is medicine for the nourishment of our practice. We offer this meal of many virtues and taste to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and to all life in every realm of existence. May all sentient beings in the universe be sufficiently nourished. Bow. I meant to say at the beginning that I will be making mistakes as we go. And so one little mistake I've made already is if you have a little bowl that you're going to use for the Hungry Ghost offering, probably a good idea to get that set out too. That's kind of a little different than the more formal setting. But anyway, so you might want to put that out as well. Meant to do that. All right. Next step, serving of the food. There's going to be 2 parts to this. The first part, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about this would happen if you were in a monastery. I'm not going to go into all of the details because we'd be here forever, but I'm just going to go through it real briefly so you get a feel for that. And then we're going to serve ourselves and we'll get on to the next part. All right, so here's how it goes. If you were in a monastery, there would be a server who would come by and serve your food, and they would start with the Buddha bowl and go down to the smaller bowls. So just to tell you how this works, the server would come, you would bow, and we're going to assume today that we would be having rice. You would pick up the Buddha bowl and you would hold it up and you would help them get the rice into your bowl because it's a little bit sticky. If you want a little more, you would use a pinch with your fingers If you've had it, if your bowl's full enough, you would raise your spoon and you have enough. You would put the spoon in your bowl, handle facing away. You would bring it to your left leg, right to your hip, and you would make a little bow to them. This is all if you're in the second position in being served. If you're in the first position, it's actually slightly different. Let's not go there. And then you lay your bowl back down. Next step in this would be the server would come by, you would bow to the server. Oftentimes, this might be a soup or something liquid. If it is something liquid, you would pick up the bowl with three fingers. You would offer to them. You would take it. They would then hand it back to you. You bring it back to your hip and you'd give a little bow and then you'd set it down in the middle. Last piece, small bowl. Typically, this is something sort of more solid. So you would once again hold it up. Middle bowl and small bowl both. If you want a little more, it's still a pinch. When you're done now, because you don't have a spoon in your hand, it would be two fingers raised, and that would be, I've had enough. My bowl is full enough for now. So thank you. And you bring the bowl back once again, give the bow, and put the bowl in its place. And that's basically quick version view of how the serving would work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to serve ourselves. Start with the Buddha bowl, go to the middle bowl, go to the small bowl. If you want to, you can fill your Buddha bowl and do the bow, just kind of bowing to everyone. We'll go through, if you want, you can fill all your bowls and then do a gasho. That's what the person in the first position would do. So let's just go ahead and fill our bowls, and then we'll start the next round of doing our chanting. Oh, nice job on. Told you I would be making some mistakes. Put the rice in the wrong bowl. That's two, if you're counting at home. All right. If we are all set, this is everyone. First, we reflect on the labors that brought us this food and consider how it comes to us. Hands go into shashu and go, and you make a little bow, goes under your rakasu, make a little bow. Second, we receive this offering. We should consider whether our virtue and practice deserve it. Our hands go into zazen mudra. Third, we regard greed as an obstacle to freedom of mind. Fourth, we regard this meal as medicine to sustain our life. Fifth, to attain the way, we now receive this food. Little bow. At this point, we're going to do the hungry ghost. And what we're going to do is take a couple of grains, like from our rice, and we're going to put it right at the end of our setsu, and we'll chant. So just take a couple of grains, set it on the tip of your setsu. Bow. Hands and gasho, everyone chants this. For all creatures who hunger and to nourish this world, now we present you this offering. This food is for all of you in 10 directions. Then we go straight into the bowl raising verse. First, this is for the three treasures. During this, you pick up your chopsticks, lay them across your middle bowl, going from 10 to 5 o'clock, points at the bottom. Second, it is for our teachers, parents, planet, and all sentient beings. Third, it is for every being in all realms of existence. Bow. And again, I told you I'd forget things. I'm at three. Your spoon should be in your middle bowl. Sorry about that. We now pick up our bowl and hold it. Thus we eat this food with everyone. We eat to end all suffering, to practice the harmless and beneficial, to save all sentient beings and to accomplish the Buddha way. The first portion is to end all evil. The second is to cultivate every good. The third is to free all beings. May everyone realize the Buddha way. We slightly bow our head, and everybody together takes a little bite out of their Buddha bowl. So I'll take a bite, and then we start eating. So you can keep eating out of the Buddha bowl if you want to, and then you kind of move around. Every time you're done with the Buddha bowl, you put your spoon back in the Buddha bowl and set it down. If you're going to use your chopsticks, you pick up your chopsticks and eat. When you're done with them, you put them back. You can go to the Buddha bowl, you can go to the small bowl, you can go whichever way that you want to go. It's all fine. So at this point, we're going to just sort of go through and everybody will eat. When we're, uh, I'll make someone else look, try to watch everybody, make sure we're ready to be done. Then we will do take our Hungry Ghost offering off, and then we'll do seconds. Try not to take too many seconds if you can, so we can kind of get through all this. But that's what we'll do next. So we'll have an opportunity to get some seconds, and you can eat some more if you want to. And then we'll go into the bowl cleaning. So that's kind of the agenda here. So um, please eat, enjoy your food, and we'll pick it up in a minute. Please keep eating. I'm just going to talk here just for a little bit. So like I said, it will collect the Hungry Ghost offering. And then there'll be an opportunity to have seconds. Um, if you want to have seconds, uh, if you want to have seconds of what was in your Buddha bowl, you would take your spoon and you would mouthwash it. And so you would just clean it off in your mouth and you would lay it down, handle the right bowl in the center. If you don't want to have seconds, you would just leave the spoon in the Buddha bowl. If you want to have seconds in the second bowl, you would take your chopsticks, again, mouth clean them, just clean them with your mouth, covering it with your hand, and you would lay them down above the spoon. Um, or if you don't want anything for seconds in your second bowl, you just leave your chopsticks there. So just by way of reference, if you're gonna have seconds, um, go ahead and mouthwash utensils, and then we'll actually do that again. So we get practice mouthwashing. Um, so when you're done, just kind of sit your hands in Zazen Mudra. Looks like we got a couple people still eating, which is fine. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to collect the Hungry Ghost offering. If we are in a monastery, people would come along with a little scraper. They'd scrape it right off. You'd take your finger and you'd push on the setsu to kind of lift it up so they could get it off very easily. Um, we're just going to take it. Hopefully, you have a little bowl that you can use to collect your Hungry Ghost offering, and we'll just place that in our little bowl. And then when we're done, you can take the leftover water and the little Hungry Ghost offering and maybe put it in your garden, put it outside, but the animals get have it. And then you just put your setsu back where it was. Seconds is announced by Seishin Proper. Seishin. And so we just talked through it. So if you want to get some seconds, go ahead and get seconds. And then we'll take her from there. And please start eating as soon as you've served yourself. When you are done, leave their spoon in the Buddha bowl with the handle facing away and the chopsticks back in our 10 and 5 position. And if, again, just like before, when you're done, just kind of sit in the Zen mudra and wait for everybody to be finished. I'm completely fascinated by Koku's Christmas lights flashing behind him. It's just highly entertaining. Oh, thought we were done. All right. Now we're going to, this is the most fun part. Now we're going to clean up everything. All right. So here we go. This is the most dance part of the whole thing. Lots of little steps to learn. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to clean our chopsticks, mouth clean the chopsticks. So we pick up the chopsticks. We're going to bring them to our mouth, cover our mouth so people don't see what us washing them. Clean them in your mouth. When you're done, you're going to lay them down. This time their handles are going to be at the right and the tips are going to be pointing in. So handles at the right this time. Now the first of the fancy moves, we pick up our setsu, we bring it over to the Buddha bowl, we grab the spoon between our little finger and our fourth finger and set down the setsu in the Buddha bowl. And now we're going to mouth clean our spoon. Mouth clean the spoon. It gets it down. Also handle to the right this time. Bowl is in the center, but now the bowl is down. That's called the closed position, so that's down. Now we're going to dry clean the bowl. So take the Buddha bowl, use your setsu, just kind of clean out any little bits of food or anything that's left, kind of collect it. And then we're going to eat that, but do not touch your lips to the Buddha bowl ever. You can to the other two, but not the Buddha bowl. Scrape out whatever's in there, and then eat what's on your setsu. And then same thing with the middle bowl. Put it down. And then the same thing with the small bowl. Set the small bowl back down. Setsu goes back in the Buddha bowl. We sit with our hands in Zen mudra until everybody's done with their cleaning. The next thing that would happen if you were in the monastery is, well, it's going to happen for us here too, is your water service. But in the monastery, someone would come along and bring water to you. So they would come, you would bow to them, you would pick up your Buddha bowl, which is where the water is placed. You would pick up your setsu. I was taught to cover the setsu with your hand so they don't have to look at your disgusting setsu tip. They would pour the water in. When you have enough water, you would make a little gesture with your setsu, and you would bring it back to your hip and bow. Uh, since we don't have people doing our water service, we just put the water in your bowl. Don't do too much, just enough to get all of our bowls clean. So now we're going to just place a little some water, cleaning water, into our Buddha bowl. And then if you want to do that same bow, you can do that same bow. And then we actually clean on our left leg at our hip or sort of on our thigh. We'll take it there. And you just clean the inside of your bowl. If there's anything sort of sticking on the sides, you go ahead and take that off. Once you've cleaned the bowl, you're going to take it, use two thumbs to hold on to the setsu, and you're going to pour that water into the middle bowl. You're going to take your setsu and place it in the middle bowl. And then you're going to pick up your drying cloth by the corner, which should be in the upper right-hand side. If it's not, that's okay. You're going to pick up your drying cloth. You're going to lay it across your Buddha bowl, and we're going to dry the Buddha bowl. We rotate the Buddha bowl clockwise. So the bowl goes clockwise, usually about 3.5 turns. If it's a little damp on the outside, you kind of clean it up. And then what we want to do is to wad up your drying cloth in the Buddha bowl so that there's a little tip that's sticking out. Little tip that's sticking out. Can you see it up here? And you're going to set it back down. Wait for everybody to be done. Next step in the dance, we are going to clean our spoon. So we pick up our spoon, we place it in the middle bowl, and we're going to clean off our spoon with our setsu. So clean, 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 clean. Get everything off of the spoon that you can. A little sticky bit there. Get it all cleaned off. Put the setsu back with the setsu handle facing away from you. There. We're going to take our spoon, we're going to direct it towards the drying cloth. We're going to dry off the tip. We're going to rotate it 180 degrees, and we're going to push it back. And as we do that, we rotate it so that the bowl is down. It comes through, and then we place our spoon into the utensil case, bowl side down. Next, we wash our chopsticks. Same idea. Get them all cleaned off. Leave the setsu where it is. We're going to take our chopsticks. We're going to go in towards the drying cloth. We're going to rotate 180 degrees. Give them a little twist if you want to, just to help in the drying. And we're going to take them out. And they also go into the utensil case. Once they're in the utensil case, we pick that up and we work them down. We don't just let them drop. We're going to work them down into our utensil case. Fold the flap over, if you have a flap, and set it down so that the end of the utensil case is to the left. Next step, we're going to clean the small bowl just as we did before with our setsu. Let's kind of get everything cleaned. Everything cleaned. All right. When we're done cleaning, we're going to pick up the bowl, thumb on the setsu again. We're going to move the little bowl over, and we're going to pour our water. It's facing towards us into the small bowl. Now, if you have too much water, which sometimes happens, just leave it in the middle bowl. Once you've poured the water that it will fit into your small bowl, put the setsu in the small bowl. And if you have leftover water, go ahead and drink it out of the middle bowl. I know some people don't find that very appealing, but that's it. Otherwise, we're just ready to go ahead and start drying. Um, Pick up your cloth just as before, drape it across the bowl. The bowl goes clockwise as we twist it around. Take our cloth, we kind of wad it up in there, leaving a little corner sticking up. That goes in the Buddha bowl. We wait for everybody to be done. All right, you can guess the next step. We're going to clean the small bowl. Again, we're going to take our setsu. We're going to clean the small bowl, get everything off. Sides, everything cleaned up. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and clean our setsu. So it's kind of just grab a little water from the small bowl, clean off the setsu, dry it off a little, dry it a little bit. We're going to go same deal. We're going to go into the little corner that's sticking up of our drying cloth that's sticking up out of the bowls. We're going to turn it 180 degrees. We're going to bring it back. And this time, if you have a flap, it goes in the flap with the tip of the setsu out because it needs to dry. If not, just kind of go ahead and put it in your case. And that's that step. In a second, we're going to deal with the water, but first, we do my favorite part here. Everyone chants. The water with which we wash our bowls tastes like ambrosia. We offer it to all who thirst, that they may be satisfied, and may the fires of greed and our excess desires be quenched. Again, in a monastery, a server would come by, you would bow to them, you would take your bowl, you would cover it, and you would pour it into the bowl that they're offering to you. We don't have that, so we're just going to pour that into whatever receptacle we have available to us. Kind of in the same way, we're going to pour it into our receptacle. And then we take a sip and we dry out the small bowl, exactly the same way we did before. Bowl goes clockwise. We wad up our cloth. But this time, the cloth stays on our hand and we're going to lay the small bowl into the other two bowls nested in there. All right. We're closing in on the end of the dance, guys. All right. Next, if you have a hatan, you would clean that off here. You pick up the bowls, clean up the rest of the hatan. If you don't have a hatan, just pick up your bowls and put it in the center. If you have a hatan, you would take the hatan, take it, fold it, set it down on your bowls. Then we're going to take our four corners and we're going to pull them out. Ghost food there. We're going to pull them out. If you are a US baseball fan, we're going to start at home base and we're going to pick up our cloths and drape them over. If you have long wrapping cloths, you can bring the corner back down here so that it kind of fits a little bit better. Same thing from second base. We go up and we bring it down and we've done the start. Next, take our two fingers, grab the top of our lap cloth, take our thumb and run it along down the center, and we're going to pick it up, kind of flip it over as we do that, and then we're going to fold it into thirds. Just do that. Fold it into thirds, right hand at top, left hand at the bottom, and you do this flip. I'll do that again because some people might be watching. Left hand at the bottom, right hand at the top. We flip it over so that the corners are up at the left-hand side. Flip, right hand top, left hand bottom, flip. We take our utensil case and we place it on top of our lap cloth, Setsu pointing towards us. If you have a water board, you would clean that and put that on there first. All right, last step. We take our cloth, we grab it by two corners, and we just give it a little pull. We bring the hand over, grab the corner, slide the other hand down, give it a little pull. This is not a snap, it's just a little pull. Come over to the corner again, bring it down, drop, give it a little pull. In the monasteries, they just do three, maybe Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, but we do four. Come on over, four. Then we fold it towards ourselves, put it in half. So now we have two halves, fold at the bottom. We take it and lay that fold down right in the middle of all our the utensil case, the rest of the materials, and we bring the fold down so that the cloth is laid out. Sometimes it helps to kind of give it a little tuck. So you're getting ready. And now comes the famous Oryoki knot tying. All right, here we go. Left hand down on top. We take the left hand corner, we bring it between your thumb and your first finger and between your fourth and little finger. It's kind of pointing up to the right away from you. We take the right hand side, bring it across our palm and between our first and second finger. It's like you got kind of two little ears here, but between your first and second and between your last and middle one. All right, so like this. Next, we're going to hold on to the right-hand side with our right hand and use the two fingers that we have to pull the other side through. Make a little square knot in the center. Then, I'll move this over here. Then you take the bottom ear and you hold it between your first and second finger, hold it up in the air. We take the top ear, we bring it around counterclockwise, and it's going to go into that little space where your finger is. Just kind of nudge it in there. Mine's kind of tiny here. Once it's in there, but not all the way through, so you still have a little piece sticking out, kind of tighten it down by pulling on the top. So now we have two little ears on the right. Mine's kind of fallen out there, so I'll stick it in. Two little ears. I didn't have quite enough on my bottom one, but you can see it, little ear there, ears on the right. And that's the knot, and that's the process. I'm going to take my Hungry Ghost offering away. And that's it. If we were going to maybe continue with Zazen, we would pick it up and lay it down. If we were going to proceed out of the hall because we're done with Oryoki and we're going someplace, we'd pick it up with our little tripod. We would lift it up and hold it at eye level and walk out. So for us right now, we're just going to bring it up, give a bow, set it back down, Gasho bow. And that is Oryoki in a nutshell. Thank you guys very much for engaging in this process. I'm only 10 minutes over. Well, there you go. I don't know. It looks like everybody's muted. I don't know if you can unmute, but I'm happy to try to answer any questions if people want to kind of hang out here.
Everyone.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. You're still muted, so you're going to need to figure it out. No unmuting. I don't have control here. Somebody has control of this.
It should be possible now.
Give it a try again, Bill. There you go.
Okay. So on Jundo's video of how to do Oryoki, he had the Buddha bowl, the middle bowl, and the small bowl was for tea or liquid. Is tea in that third bowl, or is it any liquid you would want?
Well, that's really interesting, right? And it varies a little bit from lunch from breakfast to lunch. At lunch, there's actually tea is served. Actually, there's food in all three of the bowls, and then you're actually served tea at the end in the middle bowl. So it just really, really varies depending on what the chef, the Tezan, has decided is going to be served that day. So it may be fluid. I think in general, more often you're going to see like a soup or something brothy or whatever in the middle bowl rather than the small bowl. But again, it doesn't matter. It's just kind of whatever the feel is and kind of what you want to do. But like there's no hard and fast rule about what goes into those bowls.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Beyond Kote, any different perspective on this?
I've often seen that you get some pickles or something in the small bowl in the third one, and that it's mostly just rice you receive in the large bowl. And for breakfast, you get some rice gruel stuff, a liquidy version, and for later meals, it's pure rice. But it's basically everything solid. When you drink soup, you want to, as an Asian person at least, you want to touch your lips to the bowl, which is a no-go with the Buddha bowl. So you would get any soupy things always in the middle one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just as an aside, I was just reading a discussion of Oryoki in a women's monastery. And in that discussion, they said that in some monasteries, people use pickles instead of a setsu, which I just thought was hilarious. So anyway, so you say pickles, and I just think, how can they use setsus as pickles? Anyway, or pickles as setsus. I don't know. Anyway, anybody else? All right. Well, so the goal here is to start doing Oryoki regularly. I've had this goal multiple years and it's never actually happened. I've been working with Juno to get this done this time. Um, I have this little issue that I have this bad shoulder. I'm having my MRI on Thursday to see if I can figure out what's going on. But the goal right now, the plan is right now is I want to do a series of video and trainings in January. And then we would pick up after that, just doing it on a monthly basis as a starting point. So that's kind of the goal. So we'll be returning to this. Again, you didn't learn it this time. There's kind of lots of moving parts here. There'll be kind of fewer moving parts at each step we do it because we don't have to go back and forth. Well, here's what we're going to do now, but here's what they do in a monastery. We'll just kind of do it one way or the other. But so that's the plan. So hopefully that will be picking up. And right now I'm on schedule for being ready for starting them in January. All righty then. Well, we've gone way over, but we'll see if Beyond can be the first to do it all within the time frame. But it just always goes over for this. So thank you guys for your patience. Thanks for participating. Really appreciate you guys being here. It's funny having two cameras, so I have to look over here to see you, but I have to look over here to talk to you. So anyway, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's get back in Rohatsu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Shinji.
Thank you.
Go
Thanks,
take a
everybody.
20 minutes. The next unit is going to be quite challenging, so come back with the energy for it.
Do a bunch of stretching beforehand.
Yeah, I don't think any stretching is going to do.
Thanks, everybody.